Hey guys, it's me, Scratch How To, and today we will be making Portals game. The game where you have a blue or orange portal, and you can go through the other one. Yeah, we get the idea. Well, yeah, we're gonna make that. So let's make a player sprite. I already have a level that I'm gonna use. Okay, so I just want to make a red circle for the player. Oops. So I'll go delete the scratch cat. Sorry about that. And then if you hold shift while using the circle or square tool, it will make it like even on the sides. That's way too big. Let me just shrink it. Okay, that's way too small. Let me grow it. That's way too big. That is perfect. And now there's cuts. So I gotta do this. Okay. So now I have the player. Obviously, we've only been here for a minute. I already have a player and a level. Don't worry, the tutorial isn't gonna be that fast unless the editor part of me tries to make it. But anyways, when green flag clicked in the level sprite, forever go to x00. I do that so that if I accidentally drag the level off, it will automatically reset. Okay, let's make new variables. Let's delete the my variable. Let's start with for this part only. Yeah. So we'll do falling to detect when we're falling, and then we'll do it for this part only, obviously. And then we'll do speed x, our acceleration for left and right, speed y, our acceleration for up and down. Okay. So now that we have these, let's also make temp for temporary because we want to store temporary values in this one. And then finally, we want to do touching. I'll explain later why we'll need this. Now, for all sprites, gravity, and then we're going to use acceleration for all sprites. We're going to use jump height. Oh, it's actually spelled wrong. Jump height for all sprites. And then we're also going to do friction for all sprites. Okay, there's a lot of variables, but trust me, the coding isn't that hard. So today we're just going to be focusing on player movement, not portals or anything, just player movement, kind of like platform engine. So I'll start with the green flag clicked in a forever loop. Next thing can do block called move, and input steps, and then label of steps. Run without screen refresh. Also, I'm coughing and sneezing a lot because I'm kind of sick, but not that sick. So yeah. So we change not the falling. We change falling by one at the beginning. Let's repeat steps. Okay. So change x. Wait, we want to set temp, the temporary value, to our x position. And then we change x by, let's grab the divide operator, speed x, and steps. And remember, change x. And then if we are touching, actually, let's make a new block called check touching, and then we want to do object from screen fresh. So if let's grab if else. So if for now let's just do if touching level. Then we want to set touching to 1, else we set it to 0. Okay. So let's add check touching object up here. If touching is greater than 0, then what we want to do is, how about just for now we set x to, and then the temporary value, so we set our x to our last x. We set speed x to 0 because this means that we are touching a wall. This means that we're touching a wall, so we want to start, and then we don't want to hit anything else. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we want to duplicate this and put it under here. So we set temp to y position, change y by, speed y, divide by steps, check touch object, if touch is greater than 0, we set y to temp, and we set speed y to 0. But wait, Let's add an if around the speed y to 0. If speed y is greater than 0, then we set speed y to 0. Let's duplicate this, except we just changed the speed y to falling. So if falling is greater than 0, we set fly to 0. This is what your code should look like. It's a pretty long script, but again, this is what custom blocks are made for. Now we got the move steps. Glad the absolute value because the repeat loop won't work if any of the values are negative. Let's add a plus operator. And then we add speed x plus speed y. So if I click the green flag, as you see, nothing happens. But if I add change speed y by gravity, wait, we haven't set our variables yet. Set acceleration to 1.3 when green flag clicked. Set gravity to -1. Set friction to 0.9. The smaller it is, the faster we slow down. And we set jump height to 12. Next, we set falling to 99. Set speed x to 0, and then we set speed y to 0. Okay. So now like we click the flag, still nothing happens. But if I had to change y by gravity, change speed y by gravity, you can see that we just fell. But this is great. Because now we know that our code works and that the player has gravity. Okay. Let's make a new block called up and down controls. And then the rough house create refresh. If let's add an and. Okay. So if key W pressed and falling is less than 3, so that is we're barely falling, or maybe we just like go off the edge. It makes the game a little bit easier. Then what we want to do is we set speed y2, and then we set to jump height. Okay, let's add our up and down controls here. Also, let's add the change speed y by gravity here. So now if I re-click the green flag, I save now. I see whenever I press the W key, we're jumping. It can continue jumping as long as it's held down. Okay, so now we have up and down controls. Now what we want to do is left and right controls. Without screen refresh. This one's gonna be a little bit more complicated, or at least a little bit more longer. So let's add two ifs. So if key A pressed and if key D pressed, what we want to do is we change speed x by, and then let's grab the acceleration 0 minus acceleration, and then here we can just change speed x by, and then a key D pressed, we just change speed x by acceleration. Okay, so now if I add the left and right controls here, as you see now you can move left and right, but we don't slow down, as you can see. Why? Well, because there's no friction yet. So what we gotta do is at the end of this, we set speed x to speed x times our friction. Make sure friction is less than 1, or else if it's 1 or greater than 1, then it's going to actually speed up. Yeah. So now as you can see, we are still kind of like moving, as like there's friction now, and we slow down really fast. If I set friction to 0.95 at the beginning, then we're gonna have less friction. See, it's more slippery. I can move faster. But now, how about we just set to 0.9? Okay. So now we have this. So now what we want to do, let me show you guys. So let's place a wall here. What happens if the player hits the wall? Well, it just hits the wall. And it can jump on it, it can move around it. Okay, let's add a wall here. See what happens now. Like it just go under here. We kind of like, because I see the player is on the, like, this tiny pixel is on the tiny, tiny pixel here. And we don't want that. No, 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 no. So let's stop the project first. Let's grab this away. Let's make a new block called collide x slope. Profile screen refresh. Okay. So what we want to do here is we change y by 1, not x, y. And then then after that we check touching object. And then if the touching is greater than 0, which means that we are touching something, then we just want to double check again, because we want to make sure that we're able to like uh go up a slope. So we change y by 1, check touching object. If we're still touching level, then make sure to change y by -2 so that it resets. Then we add the sec to temp, set speedx to 0, and then we stop the script. Why do we stop the script? Well, because we want stuff to be under here. So we set speedx, the inner if, we set speedx to speedx times 0.9, I mean, yeah, 0.95. And then here, wait, no, 0.8 here, sorry. And then you set it to 0.95 here. So if I click reflect, as you can see, ooh, that is really, really bad. But we are kind of being able to just go through walls like that. But that's because we haven't put it here. So let's put it here. And then if I'm the player, I see everything's still better. But if I add a slope, okay, if I add a slope here, then if I move the player, then we can move up the slope. Now, normally without that code, we wouldn't have been able to do this, but now we can move up slopes. But I see the player should be slipping down, right? Since, gravity and stuff, we should be slipping down, like if you were on a hill. Well, it's just that we haven't set the code for that yet. But don't worry, don't worry. Now we will. Why? Well, because we want our game to be as realistic as possible, right? So actually, let me name my level costume 1. Okay, so player sprite. Let's take out this, and now we can barely move. We can't even jump. Let's add collide y at a ceiling. Okay, run fast screen refresh. So now here we add the collide y ceiling here. Okay, so we already have this stuff in here. So, but now what we want to do is we set speed y to speed y times 0.8. 0.8. Okay, that'll act of air resistance. This will be our air resistance. But that still doesn't solve our slipping problem. So let's make a new block and let's name it slip. Run without screen refresh. And then we just click OK because we're done. So now here in define slip, we change y by and then -2 because we're moving down, and we change x by 2. Okay, so we check touch object. So if and then grab a less than 1, we add if touching is less than 1, which means that we're not touching the level, then we change speedx by 1 so that we'll continue moving that direction. And then we stop the script. Also, since we're moving down, we'd technically be falling. So how about we just set falling to like 9 because, well, 9's a cool number. Let's duplicate this. And we change x by -4 so that instead we're moving this way. And we check touching object. If we're not touching the level, which is touching less than 1, then we change speedx by -1, and we keep the falling to 9, and then we add this change y by 2 and change x by 2. So now we reset. If we can't fall down, then it will just reset us. So now let's add the slip for here in the collide y ceiling if falling is greater than 0. And in the collide x slope, we want to add at the end of the script. Okay, I hope you followed all of that. So now if I jump, for some reason we can't move anymore. I just reset. Okay, there we go. So now, as you see, I can't exactly move up this slope because, well, yeah, it's too slippery. But now, as you see, we just slid down so fast. But if I move it a little bit like this, we don't exactly slip and we can walk up it. But if it's too steep, then we're just going to easily slide down. Isn't that pretty cool? Anyways, now we have our slippy code. We can walk up slopes, and we have our what's it called again? Oh yeah, our physics engine. Okay, so let me just edit my level. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share. As else the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful day.